Hey y'all, today I would like to discuss preserving eggs. This is not something new. It's been around for a very long time. A lot of you who are younger probably haven't ever heard of it. Those in the prepper community have probably heard of it. Some of you may not have ever tried it. Conditions are favorable right now for people to learn to do things on their own, whereas in the past they might not have had a concern about groceries showing up at the grocery store, and now because of events in the news, I'm trying to carefully choose my words so YouTube doesn't get upset with me, but some people are thinking more about being more self-sufficient. So some of us have chickens, but we get a lot of excess eggs, and there's not always going to be eggs at the grocery store. During certain events of the past, there have been egg shortages. Currently we have an avian flu going around at some of the commercial growers, and they're having to cull chickens, so it is likely your area may experience some shortages in the near future. So if you have chickens, or you have a neighbor that has chickens, and you have an abundance of eggs right now, which we all know doesn't always happen, because in the winter chickens can often not lay for 3 or 4 months as the weather changes, as they're molting. If there's an illness, there's various reasons why chickens may not lay year round, so you can't really rely on that. So when you do have a surplus of eggs, it would be a nice thing if you could store them. Now, you can't always depend on refrigeration. I live on the Gulf Coast of Texas, and it's not uncommon for us to have a hurricane or a tropical storm and be without electricity for a week. So if I were to just rely on refrigeration or freezing, I could lose everything that I've done, everything that I have preserved. So this method requires no refrigeration. They do last up to 2 years supposedly, but as a general rule, 6 to 8 months would be a good time frame. Now, when you're water glassing your eggs, there's a couple of things to know. One, I don't believe in using a plastic container. This is a 1-gallon glass jar. I use pickling lime. It's 1 ounce for every quart of water. There are 4 quarts in a gallon. However, this is not 4 quarts of water. This is 2 quarts of water. So you would use 2 ounces of pickling lime for this gallon jar. You don't use dirty eggs. So this would be an example of a dirty egg, and you can't wash them first. That washes off the bloom. That's a dirty egg. I already used all the clean eggs, so it's kind of, let's see. That would almost be a clean egg. So anyway, you want to use clean eggs, not from the store. Store-bought eggs have the bloom already washed off, and your eggs will not come out the way mine do. So you want eggs straight from the chicken. If you have a friend with chickens, or you buy some from a farmer, those are perfectly okay to use as long as they have not been washed. That is key here. Make sure they haven't been washed. It's not difficult. It is not expensive, and I'll put a link below to show you where you can get the pickling lime in the glass jar. Although you can get this pickling lime from Kroger, Walmart, Amazon, even some hardware stores. It's in the canning area of your grocery store. If you live on city water, you're going to want to boil your water before you put it in your glass jar. The reason being is you have things added to your water, fluoride for example, that for whatever reason will make this not come out quite the same. I'm on well water, so I didn't have to boil mine. Okay, so this is the pickling lime I'm going to be using. I've already measured out 2 ounces because I'm doing a half a gallon. I'm going to fill this up with water. I pour in my lime. Stir it up. And then put my 12 clean eggs in here. Alright, that's all there is to it. We'll put the lid on it, and I'll show you what it looks like after a couple of hours and a lot of the lime has settled. And here it is after the lime has settled to the bottom. You can see it there. I did go ahead and put a little over 2 dozen eggs in there. You can see a little bit of space up here at the top, but I'd rather have too few in there than too many because you need to have them completely submerged in water. So I would like to thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe and help Tommy and I get to 1,000 subscribers.